Hi, my name is Eileen Sova and I am the Ada Slate Chair of Contemporary Drawing and Painting at OCAD University. So I'm pitching a course called COVID-19 Responsive Art. The first section of the class, you will have lectures and group discussions and presentations on how artists have responded to crisis in art history and in contemporary times. So we're going to be looking at the way artists responded to the Black Plague. We're going to be looking at the way artists responded, for instance, to the AIDS pandemic. So you can see how artists throughout history took a crisis and responded to it with creativity and resilience. The second part of the course is going to focus on making an artwork in response to the pandemic. So we're going to talk a lot about your positionality, how you're feeling. You're going to be having check-ins with me. You're going to be doing proposals. I'm going to be doing online groups, group work, group discussions. And then once you create the final work, we'll enter the third phase of the course, which will be to create an online exhibition and promote that exhibition to the public. So the format of the class will be, for instance, there might be a 1-hour lecture video where I talk about my own practice and how I've responded to crisis in my own work. There also will be online discussions on Teams where you'll get together with kind of pods, like learning pods like you would in a studio, where you give each other feedback on your work. Another example might be I want the students themselves to research artwork that they really find impactful in response to crisis and then present that artwork in online discussion boards to the other students. We're going to have critiques, but those critiques will happen in discussion boards, so you'll have a whole week to respond to a critique. Also, you'll have rolling deadlines, so instead of having a hard deadline where your work is due on this day, you'll have a week to hand in something. The difference between learning this course online and learning it in the studio is that the online space will have a lot more flexibility in terms of how and when you interact with your fellow classmates. So for instance, in real life, in a critique, you would need to be there on that certain day and be able to comment on the spot. Whereas in an online space, you would have a week to upload your work and a week to really think and have thoughtful ideas about how to respond to a critique. The learning objectives will be exactly the same, so you'll get the exact same course content, but the mode of delivery and the way that you interact with each other, that will be the difference. So for people who are worried about doing an online class, one of the things I've been thinking about is we are in a pandemic. It's very hard to find part-time jobs. You can't travel right now. It's difficult to meet up with friends and family. One of the discussions that we've been having with students is around the change of practice and materiality. It's pushing artists in ways that we never thought possible. It's forcing us to be really creative, to push our boundaries, to problem solve in new ways, and that's really exciting. And I think taking a class during this time can make it be a little bit more rich, and it can be a creative outlet that you can look back on and say you accomplished this during the pandemic and you got closer to your graduation.